Welcome back, everybody. It's Cape Rugby TV time, talking about what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby. Full show for you tonight. Looking forward to it. We're going to introduce you to my panel in a second or so, but before we get going, big thanks, of course, to Score Energy Drinks on board with us, Cape Rugby TV, and of course on board with Western Province Club Rugby and the Western Province Club Rugby Sevens. Can't wait for that to start happening. That's of course going to happen in the next 3 months or so. The vibe for Sevens will again explode. And of course, CyberSmart, internet service providers, on board with us here at Cape Rugby TV. In studio with me now, Renzo Botman. He is back. Renzo, nice to have you back, man.
Hey, thanks, Sebs. Thanks for having me. It's been a few weeks, but yeah, it's good to be back.
And the world famous Morgan Newman. Morgie.
Nice. How's it, James? Yeah, good to be back. Thanks for having me. Yeah, always good.
All right, folks, we've got a full show tonight. Renzo, you missed out a little bit. I've got to talk to you guys about this, actually, before we get going. But we're going to show a little bit of footage that is right up your alley, Renz. Hands and Hearts played against Kraaifontein this weekend. Would you say that that's the biggest derby in Western Province Rugby?
I'm not going to shoot myself in the foot, so I'm going to say it's one of the biggest derbies. But yeah, but surely you'll probably get like 20,000 people through that gate on a Saturday. Yes.
Yeah, you're Hamilton's and Village's former player, Morgs. You know all about derbies, but derbies is kind of what makes Western Province Rugby tick.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of derbies across the board, yeah, and certainly having now experienced the Hands and Hearts Kraaifontein derby, it's certainly up there, James. Lots of people, massive vibe, and really cool to be part of, yeah.
So what is your picture on the derby thing? You know, I was watching a talk about, I saw Corne Krige talk about when he was captaining the Springboks, and the question they said to him in the interview, how do you motivate your players? You know, how do you keep your players motivated? And he said, no. You don't need to motivate a Springbok player. When they're facing the All Blacks doing the haka, there's one thing you need to do is actually calm them down. I'm curious to both of you guys, the derby factor. During the week in the preparation, does your training change?
Well, yeah, he talks about calming them down. That was certainly my job for the whole of last week. There was so much talk about when last Kraaifontein had beaten Hands and Hearts, the results, the history that exists between the two clubs, and just trying to keep the players to be calm. Let's focus on what we can do, control the controllables, you know, the old cliche. Was sort of the order of the day amongst me and my coaching staff, but seemed to we got it right in the end. And yeah, I mean, on the day, certainly didn't have to lift my players. The warm-up intensity was second to none for the first time. Yeah. And I've been fighting with my players. We've got to pick up the intensity during warm-up. This was the time of the week where I was like, wow, okay, we've got to slow things down.
So yeah, Renz, I mean, same sort of picture for you, but not to talk about Hands and Hearts or Villages or Hammies now, just your feeling about derbies. We see them so much.
Look, when it comes to Western Province Club Rugby, you see it all over the board.
Yeah.
Every week there's a different derby, but I think just coming to Morgs now, I think Morgs must get a Hands and Hearts jersey and just put it in front of his warm-up every Saturday.
Yeah,
so right. Maybe that will work. But look, it doesn't matter what you know, if it's a friendly, if it's a league game, doesn't matter where you play say if it's friendly, doesn't matter where you play, in which league you play, Super League A against Super C team. On the day at the derby, anything happens because everything just lifts up. The level of rugby, it's just different on game day.
So we're going to talk a little bit later about Collegians, Hamadias. Would you say this is a derby coming up this weekend?
Definitely, because I know there's a few Hamadias players playing at Collegians and Collegians.
Yeah.
I know last year's coaches is actually coaching at Collegians this year. Yeah. So yeah, definitely derby.
And Super League B, Morgan, full of derbies.
Yeah, James, it is. There are so many derbies. The league in itself is so hotly contested. You know, teams are starting to know each other so well. And so it really can go anywhere. I mean, you just throw the names of Hamadias and Collegians out there, and I go, geez, that's going to be a really tough game. It's not difficult one to call just straight off the bat, you know. And the same with every other derby that there is. I mean, if you go by the parameter that you played last week, then Hands and Hearts should have beaten Kraaifontein this past weekend. So there's lots happening.
All right, we've got another derby on the cards here that we're going to take a look now. But this is women's rugby. This is Blue Jets against Busy Bees. Busy Bees got a home ground advantage. Blue Jets women went down to Langa this past weekend, and we managed to get you some of the highlights.
name is Asiphe and I'm a Blue Jay player, number 6. I play bank. It was not really tough, but we managed to play since it's only the height and the weight that is against us. But we tried our best and it was really good for us. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's us against CPT. It's going pretty much well because some of CPT players were playing with us, and yeah, it's gonna be a really nice game. And yeah, we just tell ourselves, and it's all about teamwork and motivating one another and pushing one another to do better. That's all I can say. Season it's going pretty well. Just as we're losing some of our players and some are very busy to come to the gym and match. So yeah, for now it's really good. Yeah.
Inam Asiphe. I'm staying with Hailicha. I'm playing for BCB. I'm the captain. Today's game was very grateful for us, and it was lovely. And we wanted to honor our ladies that we were the part of the tournament on the Easters. Then we wanted to show them that we want to show them that we win that tournament. So thanks to Bridget for the game. It's great for now because we are on the top one now. And thanks to the ladies for now.
All right, there we go. Division 1 and 2, in fact, they're Busy Bees lying number 2 on the log. Blue Jets, number 5 on the log. Renzo, you know some of these players. In fact, you've probably filmed and interviewed some of these players.
Yes. Look, when it comes to Busy Bees, what I like about them pre-season is the ladies, the guys, they all train together. So it doesn't matter if you need to do 20 push-ups, the ladies you need to do 20 push-ups. So that's what I like. And most of, previous years, most of the Busy Bees ladies was in the Western Province side.
Yeah.
So the quality that they have, I think, just shows, when they play rugby, the skill level. But looking at Blue Jets also, I think they're doing a good job as well.
Any tips there, Morgan Newman?
No, I mean, look, the level of rugby seems pretty high there. You can clearly see the ladies are training with the men. You know, there's a level of a stand that's being set down at the club, and certainly big, strong ball carriers. You know, the old cliche, whether it's men or the women, the old cliche, set the platform up front, unleash the backs out wide. Yeah. And rugby's not that difficult in the end, James.
All right, folks. Great to see women's rugby, as we've been talking about for a while now. And Blue Jets busy. We just got to get some clarity on the leagues coming coming together in terms of the merging of the leagues, because we've been seeing Division 1 and Division 2. So are we now together in that? We'll get clarity for you on the next couple of weeks to come. But some good women's rugby being played at the moment is across the board. We'll take a break. Don't go away.